in the White House. DJT. And Kimberly Guilfoyle. Now, there's a lot to say, so let's go.
Okay. Yeah, we're going to get...
All his fans are in the front.
We got 10 tickets out of about 150, so we figured we got to stack the deck a little bit, right?
Well, you guys are here. We're going to get to Triggered, the book, in a moment, and your relationship. But you did something that triggered a lot of people yesterday, including myself, by releasing the name of the whistleblower. The whistleblower whose complaint has now led to impeachment hearings. The whole point of releasing a name is to intimidate someone, to threaten someone, and to scare other people from coming out. That's something that dictators do. I've lived in China. I've seen that firsthand. That's not what America does. That's not who we do. We stand by our people. Why did you want to release the name?
Listen, I think... I think the reality of the answer is the whistleblower's name was on a little website called The Drudge Report a couple of days ago. It was in Real Clear Politics. I literally quote tweeted an article that had the guy's name in the title of the article. So that whole thing is nonsense, but I wish the outrage would be equal. I mean, there was no outrage when, my family got an exploding letter of, with white powder substance in it. They're protecting a guy, in the CIA, and there's great outrage, but when your family gets something, it's there. And that's a big part of the book, which is, it's not a level playing field in terms of outrage. We do live in an outrage culture.
He asked to be anonymous. Your family did not. There's a difference.
But it was literally millions of people, and for days he's been out there in the media.
But does that make it right?
So what's the difference between me tweeting about it?
It's different when the president's son does it, though, isn't it?
Why? I mean, I'm a private citizen putting this out there. If everyone in this room could have read this, I don't see any difference whatsoever. The reality is, it seems to me, and again, my point of view on this, it seems to me that everyone is outraged that his name is out there because now people are saying, okay, he's tied to Joe Biden while Joe Biden was working in the White House. He has ties to Brennan, who's been leading the cabal on Trump. It's not, let's be honest about what it is.
But just to be clear, that's not why I'm outraged. I'm outraged because I care about diplomacy in this country. I care about how we protect the people when they see a wrongdoing, that they go through the proper political channels, and they are protected for doing that. So you can say that whatever outlet released it.
Let's not kid ourselves.
But the name has been out there for 5 days.
But that doesn't make it right.
But nevertheless,
But Abby, you guys, ABC is right now chasing down a whistleblower about all of the Epstein stuff because those stories were killed. So if we're going to have the conversation about the outrage about whistleblowers, you work with CBS stuff. You work with CBS to out a whistleblower.
I'm going to ask one question. I'm going to ask one question. Can we stick to?
No, but you work with them. That broke
Can we stick to what she asked in the question? Just because if we start getting off on things,
but my point is one of hypocrisy, and again, a big part of why I wrote the book is because there's so much hypocrisy out there. Now, I understand that the mainstream media is left-leaning. I don't think anyone's ever debated that or doubted that for a long time. But they've gotten rid of the pretense of objectivity at this point. There is no, they're like, you know what, we're just going to be the marketing wing of the other side.
Just let me interrupt. If you talk about hypocrisy, you seem fine with people leaking information if it makes you and your father look good, because WikiLeaks
and Julian Assange is a
cyber terrorist, right? And I think a Russian puppet. You are fine promoting his stuff and your dad praising him on the campaign trail if it makes you look good. So how is this whistleblower who went through the right channels, how are you now releasing his name and putting his life in danger, but WikiLeaks was doing the right thing?
If I can, just first, thank you so much.
Yeah, go ahead.
Thank you for the opportunity. So here's the thing. There's a lot of context to, and I hear what you're saying. It's a fair enough question because he may be a private citizen, but nevertheless, he is the son of the president of the United States,
a campaign surrogate,
and he's somebody who works as a campaign surrogate, but not officially, with the campaign. But nevertheless, when you look at the facts and you look at the circumstance, you look at, in fact, even on this show, the first day after the election, they said, and now let's start with impeachment. This has been something that's been going. It's been a concerted effort by a lot of people who are disappointed by the results of the election to undo it and remove a duly elected president of the United States. Number one. Number two, when you look, well, it was on the show on November 9th.
No, actually, it wasn't.
You guys
we've had all kinds of. And I'm asking for the same.
Sure.
We are an opinion show.
Correct.
That's what we do.
Correct.
What you seem to have done and feels very disingenuous because you can't say I'm a private citizen and yet you're in the middle of all of this. You brought to the FBI folks, everybody talked to you, you know, you're part of this. So when you release a name like that, even if it was out for 10 days or 20 days, you have to know that people, if you were talking about the white powder that your family got, this guy's family's getting the same thing. And why is it okay for one and not both?
We don't know that that's actually happening to him, you know, first and foremost.
Well, we don't know that it happened to you. But we're taking your name. We're taking your... I'm sorry. Stop yelling. Stop yelling.
Not to yell. I can
We
hear
can
It's
hear
like
you.
a miracle ear for Christmas.
Kimberly, you're a lawyer.
Yes.
And we've known each other. You were a former
Absolutely.
prosecutor. I mean, did you advise your boyfriend that it is a federal crime to out a whistleblower?
I didn't advise him that it was a federal crime, but I did come out of the bathroom and say, I left you alone for 10 minutes. What happened when Mamacita's gone? Because by the
Well, it's not a
principal
federal
poison
crime.
reason.